What is up, everybody? It is JT Sports. I am back to you guys with another video, and we got to talk about my guy Mac Jones, because my guy Mac Jones so far has been balling out. I've seen nothing but great reviews about Mac Jones' performance so far during the New England Patriots minicamp session, and it's gotten to the point that, according to Albert Breer, Mac Jones has performed so well that he has sparked up a quarterback competition between him and Cam Newton. Now, I'm not surprised. A good amount of you guys may be surprised, because coming out of the draft, during the draft process, everybody was saying how Mac Jones was the most overrated quarterback prospect, how he got carried by the talent at Alabama, and how he's going to be a potential NFL bust. And I was telling a lot of you guys, I was like, okay, you guys wait and see. Mac Jones is going to end up being the most successful quarterback from this past year's quarterback class when it's all said and done. And when he ended up getting drafted by the Patriots, that pretty much all but solidified it. So now everybody was wondering, okay, when is Mac Jones going to start? Now, I'm not expecting Mac Jones to start, or I wasn't expecting Mac Jones to start this year. I figured Mac Jones probably going to have to sit behind Cam Newton for a year, learn the NFL, learn the playbook and whatnot. But according to reports, Mac Jones has performed so well that he is pretty much exceeding expectations. Like, everybody knew Mac Jones was good. Everybody knew Mac Jones was going to do pretty well. But he has performed so well that he has challenged Cam Newton for that starting quarterback job. Now, ideally, Bill Belichick normally likes to start veterans, because veterans know the system, they have more experience, and you don't have to deal with the growing pains that comes with starting a rookie quarterback. But Bill Belichick is also a guy who doesn't really show a lot of favoritism. He starts the best guy. So if Mac Jones ends up beating out Cam Newton in training camp and in the preseason, he's going to start. Now, that kind of is going to go against, Bill Belichick's philosophy, because normally he isn't a guy who starts rookies right away. But at the same time, he's a guy who preaches starting the best man. So Mac Jones has been dealing. Like, I've heard nothing but great reviews about Mac Jones so far during the New England Patriots minicamp. I've heard that his accuracy has been on point. His decision making has been on point. He's picking up and learning the playbook at a pretty fast rate. Like, I think that there is a shot that if Mac Jones continues this, he's most likely going to end up starting week 1. Now, I'm still choosing Cam Newton to start, okay, because you got to take everything that you hear about OTAs and minicamp with a grain of salt. Because OTAs and minicamp are pretty much everybody with their jerseys on and their gym shorts on. You're not playing football in pads. You're not really getting any real action, really. Everything that's going on in minicamp pretty much is 1-on-1s, 7-on-7s. You got your little workouts, you got your individual drills, and that pretty much is it. Everybody really isn't going all that hard. Everybody's pretty much going 60-70% walkthroughs, basically, is what minicamps and organized team activities are. What minicamp is, it's supposed to get the players back into football form a little bit, okay? It's supposed to ease the players into training camp, so when training camp starts, these players aren't completely out of shape, because you guys got to remember, some of these guys haven't played football in almost a year. When you think about the guys who opted out for New England last year, and on top of that, you got the guys who, although they played this year, they haven't played football since December. So OTAs, minicamp or whatnot, supposed to get these guys kind of back into the swing of things, so when training camp comes, you can hit the ground fully running. So for Mac Jones, he's performed well, but I'm still not going to buy into the Mac Jones hype right away. Even though I do love Mac Jones, I feel like this should not be a surprise, because I'm a guy who likes to wait and see what happens when training camp rolls around. Because we hear a lot of good things about all these rookie quarterbacks. Everybody's doing good. Like, look up Trey Lance, look up Justin Fields. You would not find a single negative article about any rookie quarterback so far. Like Mitchell Trubisky got a lot of praise during OTAs and minicamp for the Chicago Bears. So you got to take everything that you hear about these rookie quarterbacks with a grain of salt until training camp rolls around and the preseason rolls around. Then that's when we're going to find out if these guys can actually play. So for Mac Jones right now, I'm happy to hear that Mac Jones has been balling out, because I've been going to bat for Mac Jones during the whole entire offseason about how this guy is the most overhated quarterback and how he was going to end up having the best career out of all the quarterbacks in this past year's draft class. And with him going to New England, I think that all but solidifies that, because New England probably is the best spot if you are a rookie quarterback that you will want to end up in. You're going to end up going to a great organization with the greatest head coach in NFL history, with one of the best, if not the best, coaching staff in the NFL. So for Mac Jones, man, I think that he's going to end up pushing Cam Newton to the point that we may see him starting week 1. Like, I'm still going with Cam Newton to start, but I think the odds of Mac Jones starting have increasingly went up. Like, when Mac Jones first got drafted by New England and before we had OTAs and minicamp and whatnot, I think Mac Jones probably had like a 10% chance of starting this year. But now, after what I've heard about Mac Jones' performance so far after minicamp for New England heading into training camp, I think his chances from starting go from 10% to probably about 40%, because he's played no games, still has to learn the playbook and whatnot. So I'm not going to say, oh, I think Mac Jones is going to start over Cam Newton like a good amount of people out there are saying. But I do think his chances of starting definitely have increased compared to what they were before minicamp started. Now, Mac Jones, I'm really interested to see what he does in training camp, what he does in preseason. I'm speculating that Mac Jones and Cam Newton, if this is a true quarterback competition like people are making it out to be, that both those guys are pretty much going to end up going 50-50 when it comes to preseason snaps and whatnot. So what you guys need to look out for, if this is true, this is what you're going to start hearing. When training camp rolls around, you're going to start hearing how Mac Jones has increasingly gotten a good amount of first-team snaps. That's the first indicator that, Mac Jones may be starting over Cam Newton. So whenever you start hearing reports that Mac Jones has gotten more first-team reps, is where you should start to see the reports coming out that Mac Jones probably could be the favorite. So until I hear that coming out, I'm still going to slide with Cam Newton. I feel like Cam Newton didn't do bad last year. When you look at how good Cam Newton played before COVID, he was balling. After COVID, things kind of fell off the rails and whatnot. So now you look at the improved skill position that he has at wide receiver, tight end, all the weapons that he has. On top of that, you have players who are coming back who sat out last season because of COVID. I think that Cam Newton this year should have a way better season than what he had back in 2020 last year. But Mac Jones has made things interesting so far. So let me know who you guys think is going to end up winning the quarterback battle for New England. Right now, it looks like Mac Jones is on Cam Newton's heels to the point that he's starting a battle between the two. But do you guys think that Mac Jones is going to be able to continue this momentum all the way throughout training camp and preseason and potentially end up starting week 1? Or do you guys think that Cam Newton is going to be able to hold on and he's going to end up being a starter? So make sure that you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos, and thanks for watching.